very good morning to all of you. We are going to start the day 3. In the morning, we are going to have 2 sessions. In the first session, we are going to talk something about idea generation and synthesis. And in the second session, we are going to have exercise on the same. So in these 2 sessions are to be taken by me. I'm going to talk something about idea because from the day 1, when we started with creativity, the most and the vital, most important element of creativity is an idea. And for that purpose, it is always said that good idea leads to some innovation, invention, or some creativity. But how to generate a good idea? And there was another model which was indicating for having a good idea, you need to have lots of ideas. Now question arises, how to have lots of ideas? Unless we have ideas, then good ideas, then implementable ideas, we can never have any innovation, invention. So the basic purpose of any creativity exercise is to have lots of ideas. So I'm going to start the exercise or the presentation on the same, how to have lots of ideas. Which are the ways which can help you in generating lots of ideas. Although ideas are coming into your mind, but those may be structured, sometimes they may not be structured. How to place them, how to implement them, how to think of them, how to evaluate them, analyze them, those are different stages at a later date which come. But in the initial, we need to have lots of ideas. How much absurd it may be, doesn't matter really. Because in creativity on the day 1, I have told you one thing very important. We have two parts of a brain, right brain and left brain. Right brain, as I said, it is a creative brain or leads to more ideas generations. Left brain is analytical. It leads to analyzing the ideas which have been generated by the right brain. But whenever the idea comes, if we start evaluating it, creativity immediately stops. So these 2 parts are very important. The role of these 2 parts, left and right part, is equally important, I may say. But their use and the order of use is equally important. When you are in a creativity process, the use of right brain first, and then for judging the ideas and analyzing the ideas, and for adopting the ideas, you need to use your left brain. So I'm going to start my presentation with idea generation and synthesis. Synthesis is the second part of the story. First is idea generation, how to generate an idea. A few things which are important, which can be used for idea generation. These are the sources, these are things which have been used by different researchers, creative persons, different organizations. These are some of the ways which can be used for generating ideas. And the most important, I may say, is brainstorming. सबसे important अगर आप कहोगे brainstorming. Brainstorming means what? Storm क्या होता है? Storm क्या होता है? Storm क्या है? भूचाल है, मतलब एक किस्म का हलचल सी मच जाना. उसी तरह आपने अपने दिमाग में एक हलचल सी लानी है. You have to think from different angles, different directions, diversified directions. You are not thinking in one direction only. Storm means that storm has got no direction. It is going in any direction or any direction. That is the basic purpose of it. Brainstorming. Brain में अपने storm ले आइए. Let them go in any direction, and then think of those and implement it. Note down them. Implementation is later. Note down them, jot down them. Then after that, jotting down when all the ideas has exhausted, then start evaluating. Not before that. Let the absurd ideas come. Sometimes, as I said, cannon shot on the first day ever. Sometimes most absurd ideas are the real ideas of future. They lead to inventions, which the traditional ideas may not. So this is one of the most important techniques of idea generation, brainstorming. This was given by basically Osborne. Osborne was basically an artist. आप जब भी creativity की books पे देखो एक दाढ़ी वाला आदमी नजर आएगा, Osborne था. He was the person who gave this technique of idea generation. What he observed, let me tell you some background of that. He was in an advertising company. There, whenever some problem or issue came to them for preparing some advertisement, they used to do what? Some group of people used to sit and think of that, think on issue, and after the thought process, whatever was coming, they were implementing it. But One day he observed that when people are free from their mind, nobody is bothered what other person is saying. Nobody is criticizing anybody. Whatever everybody is saying is being recorded. Means free being. Everybody is free from the mind. Everybody is giving anything. He noted down, observed that idea generation is much better. किसी को फ्रीडम ने छोड़ दिया, उसको कुछ भी करने दो, कोई भी बोलता है, कोई भी बोलता रहने दो, बस वो he was silently observing everybody and he was noting down. He observed that this work of giving free mind to everybody leads to better results. And it is one of the basic reasons for creativity. Let me tell you, it is generally said, mind is like a parachute. Mind is like a parachute. It only works when it is open. It only works when it is open. That was the basic fundamental of brainstorming. Let the mind be free from all the tensions. आपको घर की चिंता नहीं, बाहर की चिंता नहीं, कॉलेज की चिंता नहीं, जहां बैठे आपके दिमाग में उस रिलेशन में, प्रॉब्लम रिलेशन में जो भी आ रहा है, उसे नोट करते जाइए. This is a basic fundamental and one of the most important techniques or approaches of idea generation. It is best implemented. उसके बाद बाकी जो techniques आई हैं, those are modifications of this brainstorming. ठीक है ना? Basic approach is this. Then another way can be own personal experiences. आपने जो काम करते हैं उससे भी आइडिया आ जाते हैं. कैसे हो सकता है? What's your job you have been doing in the past? Have you started business before or anything? Your business means teaching business. What was learned from the success or failures? Have you learned something from that? This is very important. You learn from your success, but you also must learn from your failures. I must tell you one thing. I could not complete my presentation on day one. In that, there was one thing. Failure is just one pit stop in the path of success. Because whenever you are going in for some new path, new experiment, two things are possible. Either you will fail or you will succeed. So there is every time 50-50 chance. So failure cannot be said that you have to stop at that point and do nothing. Failure is just one pit stop in the path of success or in the path of going ahead. In the words of Thomas Edison, what happened? Do you know after how much experimenting he succeeded in making an electric bulb?
999.
Huh?
999.
Okay, whatever it is. Okay? When he became successful, he became a media personality. Everybody comes to him. Media, जैसे लोग आते हैं, media वाले भी आए. They started asking him, "You have failed so many times. After failing so many times, you have succeeded in 1,000 times to invent an electric bulb. How do you feel now?" He said one thing: "I have not failed 999 times. But I have learned how not to make electric bulb 999 times. It's my learning from my failure. Every failure gives you some learning and you are to move ahead of it. But what happens? Whenever there is a failure, you feel demotivated and most of the people stop at that point of time. Because it's a very, very hard work. As I said on day one also, it's 5% inspiration, 95% perspiration. 95% वो आप जो काम होता है ना, वो बड़ा मुश्किल है. That's a really difficult work to adopt and implement. उसमें जब भी failure आएगी, पहले तो 95% of the time you are spending on the doing something new, and in between then you are getting some failure. That is really demotivating anybody. आपके साथ भी है. आप कोई काम कर रहे हैं, बड़ी मेहनत से कर रहे हैं, बीच में failure आता है. It's really demotivating. उस failure से आपको कुछ सीख के आगे बढ़ना है, तब तो आप successful हो जाओगे. अगर वहां पे रुक गए, life is no more. Life means our progress is no more. और होता यही है. बड़े लोग आइडिया के ऊपर चलते हैं, उनकी ट्राई करने जाते हैं, but whenever there is failure, they stop after that time. They don't do anything. In the life of every inventor, every innovator, every creative person, there are thousands and thousands of failures. But what they did, they moved ahead, learned from it and moved ahead. And they never bothered for criticism of anybody. That is the first important fundamental of success. Don't bother about what people say. मैं मोबाइल का एग्जांपल वही आपका बात करता हूँ, 15 साल वाली बात कर देता हूँ। उस टाइम तो लोग कहते होंगे ना ये पागल है, पर उसने पागल कहलवाने से परवाह नहीं की जिसने भी इसे बनाया। He never bothered to be कि क्या मेरे को लोग कहेंगे। He worked on it and now he is the most successful man in the world। ठीक है ना, उससे ज्यादा सक्सेसफुल कौन है? आज हम सारा दिन हर आदमी यूज कर रहा है। इतनी एप्लीकेबल चीज तो कोई होगी ही नहीं। इससे ज्यादा एप्लीकेबल कार भी हर बंदा नहीं यूज कर रहा होगा, स्कूटर भी हर बंदा नहीं यूज कर रहा, पर मोबाइल ऑलमोस्ट एवरीबॉडी। मेरे को एक याद है पुरानी, आई थिंक 10-12 साल पहले की बात है। एक बार ना, अभी मोबाइल कम थे, आए बड़े कम थे पर लोगों के पास। एक दिन मैं भाई साहब अपने घर के बाहर खड़ा था, एक ठेले वाला होता है ना, कार्ट, बुलक कार्ट नहीं, हॉर्स कार्ट वाला जा रहा था। उसने सामान रखा हुआ था, उसके ऊपर वो बैठा हुआ था और हाथ में मोबाइल, ऐसे करके मोबाइल सुनता जा रहा है। इट वाज रियली अ डिफरेंट एक्सपीरियंस फॉर मी। So it has reached every corner in the world, every house in the world, every person is carrying it। घर में 10-10 मोबाइल हो जाते हैं, चाहे पुराने यूज पड़े 10-10 मोबाइल हो जाते हैं। सो मोस्ट एप्लीकेबल थी। पर जिसने जिस टाइम सोचा, जिस टाइम वो कर रहा होगा, उस टाइम तो लोग यही कह रहे होंगे पागल है, ये पता नहीं क्या करी जा रहा है। लाइन में खड़े होकर हम ट्रंकल करते हैं तो, और ये कहता है मोबाइल आप जेब में लेकर। उसके बाद आगे बढ़ता गया ये मोबाइल का प्रोसेस भी। मेनी थिंग्स हैव बीन एडेड। So that is the point. Learn from your experiences। अपने एक्सपीरियंस से ही आप बहुत कुछ सीख जाते हैं। क्योंकि एक क्रिएटिविटी में मैंने 30 जब सीज उसने क्रिएटिविटी में कहे थे एक्सपर्टाइज। आपको अपने एरिया में काम करना आसान होता है, आपको उसका नॉलेज है, उससे आप आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। जिस एरिया में आपको नॉलेज नहीं, पहले तो उसका नॉलेज ग्रहण करेंगे, उसके बाद आप इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे। आप क्या कर सकते हैं, अपने एरिया के नॉलेज को किसी के साथ जोड़ सकते हैं। दैट्स ए पॉसिबिलिटी, provided you have knowledge of other area also। then again knowledge of other area is required। so knowledge के बिना या expertise के बिना creativity या कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता। ये तो मानने वाली बात है। या तो आप ग्रहण कीजिए, या तो अपने उस नॉलेज को ग्रहण कीजिए, एक्सपर्टाइज को ग्रहण कीजिए, ऑब्जर्व कीजिए, अडॉप्ट कीजिए, अडेप्ट कीजिए, या फिर आप अपने एरिया में जिसमें आपकी एक्सपर्टाइज काम कीजिए। दो ही तरीके हो सकते, तीसरा तो है ही नहीं कोई। देन इनोवेशन एंड इन्वेंशन, ए फ्लैश ऑफ इंडिविजुअल इंस्पायरेशन। अब इसमें इंडिविजुअल इंस्पायरेशन पे क्या है मैं बताता हूँ। ये हमेशा जो हुई है, इन्वेंशंस हुई हैं, मोस्ट ऑफ द इन्वेंशंस ये फ्लैश ऑफ थॉट्स में हुई है। एक चिंगारी जैसे उठती है वैसे हुआ, हमेशा हुई है, इन्वेंशन हुई है। लेट मी गिव यू वन एग्जांपल हियर। ब्लड प्रेशर मशीन आप जानते हैं। अब मेरे को बाई चांस बैठे बैठे एग्जांपल तो याद है, बंदे का नाम भूल गया जिसने बनाई थी। ब्लड प्रेशर मशीन क्या था? द पर्सन वाज वर्किंग ऑन द मॉडल ऑफ ब्लड प्रेशर मशीन। उसको आइडिया था कि ब्लड प्रेशर को मेजर करेगी, ऐसी मशीन बनाना चाहता हूँ। द पर्सन वाज वर्किंग ऑन द मॉडल ऑफ दिस। ही वर्कड हार्ड एंड हार्ड, ही फेल्ड, ही कुड नॉट डू एनीथिंग। बना नहीं, उसके मॉडल जो रियलिस्टिक मॉडल नहीं बन पाया। ही गॉट एग्जॉस्टेड, जैसे हम भी तंग आ जाते, सैचुरेट हो गया। He decided to let me go for holidaying with my family। फैमिली भी नहीं देख पा रही क्योंकि फैमिली के सारा दिन अपना काम में लगा रहना। Family was also getting saturated। Then he decided let me go for a holidaying with my family to some other place, different place। It is said when he reached the new place after sleeping throughout the night, when he was sleeping, the very first day when he has reached a new place, I must say, in the hotel of that room, वहां से सन की रेज उसके छोटे अर्ली मॉर्निंग सन रेज पर उसके चेहरे पे पड़ रही थी, but he was deep sleep। In the deep sleep, he immediately got an idea and the thought of his model of blood pressure machine। He immediately got up। वहां पे आपने होटल में देखा होगा एक पैड, छोटे पैड पेन पड़े होते हैं, पेंसिल पड़े होते हैं, हर एक होटल में पड़े होते हैं, टेबल पैड पड़े होते हैं छोटा सा, उसमें उस पे ड्रॉ किया। And he immediately went back to his place, worked for another 6 months and he could get the model of it। That's a success। That is the way to get the thing। होती ये फ्लैश ऑफ माइंड है, एकदम ही आता है आइडिया। आपने भी देखा होगा लाइफ में, कई बार नहीं, काफी बार होता है। आप प्रॉब्लम पे लगे होते कुछ नहीं होता, आप सोते सोते एकदम याद उठते, आपकी नींद खुलती है उस टाइम इमीडिएटली। That is the way that it generally happens। कॉन्शियस सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में तो है, that's there definitely yes। पर होता स्पार्क की तरह ही है। प्रॉब्लम तो आफ्टर ऑल दिमाग में है ही है, तभी वो आइडिया निकलेगा यार। प्रॉब्लम नहीं है तो आइडिया तो है ही नहीं है। नीड इज द मदर ऑफ इन्वेंशन। कोई दिमाग में आइडिया तो चल ही रहा है, कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी दिख रही है, कुछ प्रॉब्लम चल रही है, कुछ ना कुछ उसी का सोल्यूशन आएगा ना। अदरवाइज तो कोई नई चीज ऐसे ही बैठे बैठाए तो उसका कोई पर्पज नहीं ना होगा। देन स्पॉटिंग फ्लॉज एंड एरर्स इन द एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट्स, आपके सामने कई सारे प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं, उसमें कुछ कमियां दिखती हैं आपको, उसको कहते हैं यार इसमें ये अगर होता है, लेट्स से आई वाज जस्ट ऑब्जर्विंग दिस थिंग, ये हमारी चेयर्स हमने लगाई, बड़ी अच्छी चेयर्स लगाई हैं, बट यू मस्ट हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड इन दिस रूम हम चाहते हैं कि कम से कम डिस्टर्बेंस हो, बट व्हेनेवर वी आर मूविंग दिस चेयर्स देयर इज लॉट ऑफ डिस्टर्बेंस। इसमें कुछ इनोवेशन नहीं कह रहा मैं, इसमें चेंज क्या है, व्हील्स वाली चेयर हो उसमें नुकसान होगा, व्हील्स में डिफरेंट टाइप की प्रॉब्लम्स है, पर इसमें अगर व्हील्स वाली चेयर होंगी तो आवाज कम आएगी। हमारे यूज के बाद वी आर रियलाइजिंग दिस थिंग, दिस इज आफ्टर द यूज we are spotting some flaws or errors in the existing project. Although these are not errors, this is not an error, but this is the suitability for this room. These chairs should be somewhat with some wheels, या कुछ इसके नीचे ऐसा हो या प्लास्टिक के जैसे आते हैं वो लगते हैं, लगे हुए हैं वो, पर फिर भी आवाज ज्यादा आती है। Then let them have lesser sound. So you observe for it, and ये तो कोई आइडिया नया नहीं मैं कह रहा, पर फिर भी you can always think of something different. That is the point. Then copying idea. Analogy I have told you on the day one, working on the similar lines of the things which is logically built for that purpose. For the purpose it has been built. Then second element I told you, flexibility. Flexibility means working based on analogy, means things available in nature. You are trying to develop that thing into a use for which it is not exactly there. Different use. Then third element I told you, originality. And fourth element I told you, social value. Whatever you are doing it, if you are doing it for the benefit of the mankind, that is the most important, one of the most important elements of creativity. So as I said here, spotting trends and anticipating their impacts on people's life. कोई भी trend, कोई भी shape, कोई भी चीज आ रही है, उसका impact on the individual's life, for giving them delight, happiness, satisfaction. That's the most important element. Accordingly, you work. As you realize that people are sitting at some place of their, this is the issue which is bothering them, hindering their life, their enjoyment, and you try to develop product or some process in that direction. That is again spotting trends and anticipating their impacts on people. It's very, very important. Trend क्या था? वही trend. अब मैं again mobile example लेता हूँ. I'm going again and again working on the same example because it is dear to you. Problem क्या थी कि we are standing in the line, unable to connect ourselves to the people sitting our near and dear ones. ये issue था. अब अगर इसको सॉल्व करना है तो इशू क्या है कि इट शुड बी अवेलेबल एवरीवेयर। उसके बाद टेलीफोन्स आपके घरों में आ गए। नंबर वन, सुखराम के टाइम में इंडिया में हर घर में टेलीफोन आ गया। दैट वाज सेकंड स्टेप। थर्ड स्टेप, व्हेनेवर यू आर मूविंग यू कैन हैव द मोबाइल, सो यू आर स्पॉटिंग द ट्रेंड्स एंड मूविंग अहेड। सिमिलर इज द देन यू रियलाइज दैट इसमें अगर इंटरनेट हो तो इट विल बी वेरी यूजफुल, यू कैन डू समथिंग डिफरेंट। यू आर स्पॉटिंग द ट्रेंड एंड एवरी टाइम यू आर एनहांसिंग इट। एज आई सेड ऑन, आई आल्सो गिव एन एग्जांपल. It took radio 38 years to reach 50 million people. You are focusing the trend. Social media की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. You are realizing that social media is going to play a significant role. Accordingly, different apps or different type of products came into the market. Then TV, then internet, then iPad, then Facebook. These are reaching you at different corners. So you are observing the trend and moving in that direction to satisfy the needs of the customer, satisfy the needs of the humankind. That is observing trend and moving in that direction. Then noticing a gap and taking a scientific approach, working in a laboratory. This is for scientific people. They have some process, they are working on it. Nobel Prize में जैसे किसी को issue पे काम कर रहे हैं, they are developing a new product. जैसे ISRO कर रहा है, they are working in the lab, laboratory or research center. They are getting the new products, new satellites. This is the way you are working thoroughly on the issue. Then noticing a gap in the market for something that is not currently being produced. Something is not being produced, you go for market survey. Let me tell you what is happening. In this aspect, Chinese are very good. In India, we had different type of festivals and many things. हमने देखा दिवाली पे सारी लाइट्स कहाँ से करते हैं, उन्होंने देखा ये जो लाइट्स इंडियन बनती हैं उनकी भी लाइफ कहाँ थी, they were very costly. They came with हर साल नई लो 30-32 रुपए 50 रुपए की लाइट का वो आती थी लड़ी और this replaceable. So then color आ गया होली के, many products. They are very good at observing that these are the requirements of the people and accordingly pump the market with those things. That's a way to do it. So this is based on market survey. Whenever Chinese person will come to any market, just see what he is doing. Just see, observing what he is doing. He is observing the trend in the market and accordingly thinking in that direction. Let me pump this product into the market. I will get benefit out of it, which we Indians are not able to do. That's the reason Chinese people are most successful in this. They are successful throughout the world, not only in India. Quality may be an issue, but quality. Let me tell you one thing also here. Quality of Chinese product in America and quality of Chinese product in India is totally different. The reason is very simple. We have not set the benchmarks for quality. Whatever the product is coming to the market, we are keeping it, buying it. Major issue is cost. We are not bothered about quality. Cost. सस्ती है इसलिए खरीद लो. But in America, if it is going to America, there is some standard. They will not receive the product without standard. That's all. That's the major difference. We're not keeping any benchmark. That's the reason they are able to. हमारा एक ही benchmark है. Cost should be less. It should be less than cost. Everybody can buy it. जब cost एक benefit, हमारी सोच इस तरफ उस एंगल में है, we're not bothered about the quality. So these are the issues these are some of the ways which we get some ideas in forming in relation to our business. Business means even business is teaching is a business for ourselves. Everybody, हमारा काम जो भी है. So these are some of the ways we can help. These areas can help in getting the ideas. Techniques for generating ideas. उसी के base. This is the same base on this are working. More or less on the similar grounds I am going to talk. What it is? New uses for an object. Object वही मोबाइल, इसके uses क्या क्या हो गए? पहले कैमरा, okay, music, SMS, Facebook, internet. New uses for an object. Same mobile but different uses. Adapt an object to be like something else. What it is? You are using a paper cup. You are using a paper cup for drawing purposes. You are using a paper cup for keeping something. You are using it for a decoration piece. You are using it as a toy. You are using it as a flower vase. You are using it for many purposes. Adapt the same paper cup for different purposes. Modify an object for a new purpose. You are making some modification. Modification in what sense? You are adding something, diluting something. Okay? In this way, you are modifying. You may be changing the color. You may be changing the texture. By this, you are making some modification in the product and getting the new thing. This is the way to do it. Based on this, you are getting idea. All that, because I am very saying, it's very important to understand that whatever you are doing, most of the ideas are coming from the already existing things, most of the times. That's the reason I always say, if you have a creative mind, you must have the knowledge of other things happening in the world. You must have knowledge of other fields. Very, very important. Knowledge of art, knowledge of music, knowledge of science, knowledge of something. You must have. For that, you may travel to any extent, because whenever you are traveling or talking with somebody, observe the things. Based on your vast knowledge, diversified knowledge, you are able to generate more number of ideas, diversified ideas. It's very important. Then magnify means add to the object, subtract from the object, substitute something similar. Substitute something similar means, as I said, you may for one product you are using steel as a raw material. For others you may use plastic as a raw material. For a third you may use fiber as a raw material. Means you are substituting one material with the other. This is also substitution. This is giving a new product. New process. Rearrange the data. आपके पास एक डाटा पड़ा है, कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन पड़ी है, उसे डिफरेंट ऑर्डर में रख के यू आर गेटिंग द, जैसे एक वर्ड आपका कोई भी वर्ड लीजिए, डाटा मीन्स एनी वर्ड एनी इंफॉर्मेशन, आपका उसे उल्टा भी कर देंगे, समटाइम्स यू आर गेटिंग ए डिफरेंट थिंग फ्रॉम व्हाट यू आर गेटिंग. ठीक है ना? ये एक वर्ड है डैड, डैड का उल्टा करेंगे डैड ही बनेगा, बट इन अदर वर्ड समटाइम्स you are replacing and you are just making the opposite of it, you get a new word. Similar is the thing here. You are choosing the same product but in an opposite fashion, you may get a new product. ये इन सब के एग्जांपल्स दूंगा मैं आगे. This is just a list of what it is. Reverse or transpose information. ट्रांसपोज इंफॉर्मेशन को ऐड कर दिया, रिवर्स कर दिया या ट्रांसपोज कर दिया, कंबाइन द डेटा इनटू एन एनसेम्बल, मतलब जो डेटा अलग अलग इधर डिफरेंट प्लेसेस पे, डेटा मींस एनी इंफॉर्मेशन एनी नॉलेज, डेटा मींस एनी इंफॉर्मेशन एनी नॉलेज, डिफरेंट फील्ड्स में यू आर ट्राइंग टू कंबाइन दैट। वही डेटा अब फिर मोबाइल का आ गया, अलग अलग चीजें पड़ी हैं, कैमरा अलग था, इंटरनेट आपका अलग था, लिंक था कंप्यूटर से, मोबाइल का अलग था, पर्पस अलग था, एसएमएस का पर्पस अलग था, जो आपकी सबको कंबाइन कर दिया तो इट बिकम हैज बिकम अ स्मार्टफोन। एंड नाउ इवन लेट मी टेल यू इन सिंगापुर एंड मेनी अदर, दिस स्मार्टफोन इज इवन एक्टिंग एज ए योर रिमोट। आप रास्ते में बैठे हैं कार पे, वर्चुअली आप अपने ऑफिस में बैठे हैं, अपनी वॉशिंग मशीन का बटन दबा के यू कैन स्विच ऑन इट, अपने घर का गैरेज खोल सकते हैं, अपने घर के कोई और, यू कैन यूज दोस पर्पसेस, सो दिस इज बीइंग यूज्ड फॉर एज अ रिमोट आल्सो। So these things are happening in the world. These are, nothing is impossible, as I said. The person has realized that this is the thing which can be used for everything. इसमें सब कुछ डालता जाऊंगा जो जो मेरी रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, तो दिस इज बिकमिंग अ होलिस्टिक टूल फॉर मी। बात तो पर देखिए, पर्पस उसका एक ही था फोन का, पर उसके बाद एडिशंस जो हुई, these are making you comfortable only, your life comfortable. आपको हर चीज के लिए रिमोट की जरूरत नहीं है। अब आप देखिए, छोटी सी एप्लीकेशन होती है, आपके घर में टीवी लगे होते हैं, एक सेटअप बॉक्स लगता है, टीवी का आपने रिमोट अलग खरीदा होता है, सेटअप बॉक्स का अलग खरीदता होता है, पर वो उसे ऐसे करके रख के उसको क्या कहते हैं, क्या उसे कहते हैं करना, व्हेन एक मोबाइल रिमोट से दूसरे रिमोट को कर देते हैं, क्या देते हैं, उसकी यूज हो जाता है, उसी रिमोट से टीवी भी ऑपरेट हो जाता है और उसी रिमोट से सेटअप बॉक्स, एक ही रिमोट कर देते हैं ना। हाँ वही कह रहा हूँ, पता नहीं उसे क्या एग्जैक्टली व्हाट इज द वर्ड फॉर इट, मैंने देखा उन्हें ऐसे दो रिमोट रख के एक बटन से दबा के उनकी प्लेसमेंट करके, देन द सेम रिमोट ऑफ द सेटअप बॉक्स इज बीइंग यूज्ड फॉर टीवी आल्सो, cable TV. So these are the things which are being done to make your life comfortable. Whatever is the creativity, whatever is the invention, whatever is the innovation, the only objective is to make the life of the human being comfortable. That's the basic objective. उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं, क्योंकि ये इंपॉर्टेंट पैरामीटर है, शुरू से मैं बता रहा हूं। Some of the idea generation techniques now. Brainstorming, as I said, is the most important and the elementary approach of creative thinking or the idea generation. Brainstorming. उसके बाद क्या है सारी? Modified brainstorming. Again brainstorming का बेस है। इसमें दो तरह की आएंगे, there are two types again based on it, channels and anti-solution. Then another important technique is brainwriting. Then synthesis techniques, means after you have generated ideas. In this, there are two techniques, Camber and Idea Box. These are some of the techniques for idea generation and synthesis, starting with brainstorming, which is the base for most of the techniques which are downwards. Then modified brainstorming, it has channels, anti-solution, brainwriting, synthesis. Synthesis, I have two techniques, Camber and Idea Box. These are some of the techniques which are used for idea generation and synthesis. I will be dealing with them one by one. What is brainstorming? A technique used to enhance creativity that encourages group members to generate as many novel ideas as possible on a given topic, opportunity, problem, whatever you may say, without evaluating them initially. You're not to evaluate them initially. This is the most important parameter. This is the most important principle of brainstorming. Idea, whenever the idea is coming to your mind, you are not to evaluate it at the very first, unless all the ideas given by the group are exhausted. Then everybody says that there is no more idea. After that, you are to evaluate, not before that. This is the basic and the most important principle is you are not to evaluate the ideas at the very first. ठीक है, सबसे important यही principle. And let me tell you, this is the father of most of the techniques which are going after this. Brainstorming क्या है? Free flowing idea generation technique, as I told you. Write down all the ideas as they are presented. There is a group leader. Let's say this is a team of people sitting for working on some objective or a topic or an issue or a problem. And now the coordinator tells that this is the issue. How it is conducted, let me tell you. The coordinator tells, yeah, leader tells, this is the problem on which we have to discuss. He is inviting 10, 12, 15 experts who are maybe linked with the topic or may not be linked 100% to the issue. Sometimes for that purpose, we even invite laymen father who has never any expertise in the area at all. Uska bhi purpose hai. Because layman is going to tell his need, his requirement. He's not going to give you a solution of that requirement. That is the basic fundamental of brainstorming. So when you are inviting these people, they are sitting in a group around 10, 12, 15. They are not judging the idea. They are just giving the idea as it is coming to their mind, whatever way it is coming to their mind. In whatever way it is coming to them, and the coordinator is not criticizing anything, not saying anything, is just noting down the whatever anyone is saying. Whatever anyone is saying, how much absurd it may be. No laughing, nothing at all. No facial expression on this issue. Whatever it may come. No judging or pre-selecting. Encourage everyone to participate. This is most important. Work list to point of exhaustion. जब तक कि आपके ideas खत्म ना हो जाएं, तब तक you have to work on these issues. Evaluate list on subjective or objective criteria afterwards. This is the last issue of that, not at the earliest. Okay? As I said, this is the elementary approach of idea generation. Most of the other techniques which I have told you are based or somehow based on this technique. They are minor modifications of this technique. Isme they after the researchers felt there is some flaws, they may be afterwards they have modified those techniques accordingly. Basic approach of idea generation is brainstorming, and this was given by Osborne. ये नाम लिख लीजिए, Osborne, OSBORN, OSBORN, Osborne, American again. Again, rules for brainstorming, as I've already explained to you, freewheeling is encouraged, everybody is participate. Group members will not criticize ideas as they are being generated. आपने किसी को criticize नहीं करना. This is the basic fundamental principle of brainstorming. Nobody is to say anything to anybody. Just observe, just note it down. No evaluation at the first go. Quality is encouraged. आप जितने अच्छे idea में quality का क्या मतलब है? Quantity is fluency. Quality is flexibility. Fluency and flexibility, two I think. Quantity is flexibility, fluency. Quality is flexibility. Let the ideas come in different directions, diversity. The wilder the ideas, the better it is. This is the नहीं तो आप लोग क्या कहते हैं focused होना चाहिए. हम आजकल क्या कहते हैं यार वो बंदा focused नहीं है. बड़ी irrelevant सी बातें, diversified बातें करता है. But let me tell you, इस तरह का mind जो होता है, really creative mind होता है. At least he has thoughts in different directions. हम क्या करते हैं, टनल भी एंड बना रहे हैं बच्चों को भी, इसके अलावा नहीं देखना, घोड़े की तरह कर देते हैं, इसके अलावा नहीं बात करनी तुम्हें. You have to talk only on this. Where if the child or the student is moving in different direction, you stop immediately. What we say, he is not focused at all. He is not focused with the topic. We generally say this thing. And this is totally reverse of what is expected in creativity. बिल्कुल पुट्ठी है बात ये. तभी हमारी क्रिएटिविटी काम, तभी हमें नोबेल प्राइज काम मिलते हैं, तभी हमारे प्रोडक्ट में इनोवेशन काम है, हम टेक्नोलॉजी में इनोवेशन नहीं है, तभी इन्वेंशंस काम है. These are patents हमारी कितनी काम है. These are the reasons behind it. Resources not an issue. The issues are we are not giving the right direction to our students to move in. आप छोटे से बच्चे की बात देख लीजिए, हर में हमारे से जब क्वेश्चन पूछने शुरू करता है, बस कर यार थक गया, हमारे को तंग ना कर. You say this thing. We are not giving him the right answer. Whenever because he is a clean slate, he is asking him anything. And sometimes we even don't have the answers of his queries. That is the basic problem also. So, piggyback on previously stated idea. Piggyback means इन्होंने कुछ idea दिया, उसमें कुछ minor modification करके basic idea उनका था. You can always give a new idea. Idea is new, even 5% added to it. Piggybacking इसे कहते हैं. No ideas are evaluated until after all the alternatives are generated. ये बार मैं इस point पे आपको focus कर रहा हूँ. No ideas are evaluated until after all the ideas are exhausted or generated. ठीक है, दिस इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पैरामीटर ऑफ ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग। ये है ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग की मॉडिफाइड अप्रोचेस। टू अप्रोचेस आर देयर, चैनल्स एंड एंटी सॉल्यूशन। Channels and anti-solution. Channels means what? Channels means what? What do you perceive as channel?
So tell me the various options and various ways, you can say.
Various ways means channels?
concept,
Eh?
Various concepts.
Various concepts. Okay. Or somebody else would like to add? Because when assuming I was given to you, उसमें एक फंडामेंटल था, let the ideas let them come in diverse directions. But channels is what? Narrowing it down in different, in specified areas. In every problem, in every opportunity, there may be many parameters for the same thing. ठीक है ना? आप कहते हैं क्वालिटी ऑफ टेक्निकल एजुकेशन की बात की, मैं कहता हूँ क्वालिटी ऑफ टेक्निकल एजुकेशन हमारी कम है या अच्छी, जो भी कहना चाहते हैं। तो आप क्वालिटी की बात करेंगे, देयर में भी मैनी पैरामीटर, उसमें टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस भी होगा, उसमें करिकुलम भी होगा, उसमें प्लेसमेंट भी होगी, उसमें टीचर क्वालिटी भी होगी, उसमें स्टूडेंट इनटेक की क्वालिटी भी होगी, सारे पैरामीटर अलग अलग हैं। ये चैनल बन गए। व्हेन यू आर टॉकिंग ऑफ क्वालिटी ऑफ टेक्निकल एजुकेशन, नाउ whatever idea is coming into your mind, you are to place it under one category. If it is talking of curriculum, that is to be placed on the parameter of curriculum. You are channelizing your thought process. That is the only difference between the general brainstorming and the this modified brainstorming. Channels, channelizing your thought process. Whatever idea, let's say 10 people are coming, 10 people are sitting and giving their ideas. Number of ideas, let's maybe 20 or 30 or 50, whatever it is maybe. But those ideas may definitely be divided into 4 or 5, under 4 or 5 parameters. 3 parameter, 4 parameter. You are placing them under the relevant parameter. That is called channelization of your idea. That is the difference. Means ये थोड़ी सी structured हो गई है, brainstorming है. You are trying to structure your brainstorming through this process. After analyzing the parameters, you are placing them in the relevant category. That is the way it is being done. This is called channels. As I said, this is modified brainstorming only. Okay? In channels, list categories pertinent to the topic or issue on a flip chart or a writing board. आपने writing board पे अलग अलग categories 4 बना ली, 5 बना ली. You are placing the ideas which are coming as a coordinator. Whatever he is giving idea, you are not saying this idea pertains to. He is giving the idea, but you are placing as a coordinator, knowledgeable person. You are placing the idea into under specified or the relevant category. That way you are structuring those ideas. As ideas emerge, place them under most applicable category or appropriate category, which you have been identified by you as an expert. The people sitting are not identifying the categories. You are placing the ideas which are coming under categories. Okay. Then approaches free form. Look for any idea, then categorize one category at a time. Well, different approaches can be there. What you can do, there are 4 categories you have written. Whenever idea is coming, you are placing them in different categories. The other way around is, you are specifying the category and then you are saying, give your idea far relevant to this. 2 approaches different. Categorize and then placing the whatever idea is coming into different categories as per the appropriateness. But other way around is, you are starting with, let's say, quality of education means quality of input, student input. Now, whatever ideas you are talking in terms of quality of input, student, and placing all the ideas in that direction. This is another way around. Stretching, you can have different methods. So this is another way around. Variation is use post notes to allow flexibility in changing category titles. You can always change category after the exhaustion of ideas. You feel that this is, you first place idea into one category, but afterwards you realize this is more appropriate in this category, you can do it. So these are the channels. Another modified form of brainstorm is anti-solution. क्या होता है? Anti-solution is basically a fun game. ठीक है? Fun game क्या है? कि कई बार when you are going in for brainstorming, बहुत सारी काफी देर करने के बाद मोनोटनी सी हो जाती है, बोरियत होने लग पड़ती है, आप फिर भी you are unable to find the solution of the problem. But anti-solution में क्या है? हमने उल्टी बात करनी है. बिल्कुल टोटली उल्टी बात. Let's say कि you are talking of good quality students. Otherwise, your problem is quality students. You want to have good quality students in the institution. Now you're not talking of good quality students. Anti-solution is you talk हमें institution में worst students लेने हैं. इसके ऊपर बातें करो कि क्या होगा. You're talking in opposite direction. Opposite को जब आप end में आप positive में बनाओगे तो it will lead to the similar result. But in this case you're talking of totally opposite to what you are expecting. बिल्कुल उल्टी बात करनी है. जैसे आपका बच्चों का एप्लीकेशन बनवाते हैं, आप कहते हैं जितना एलेबोरेट हो. आपने अब प्रॉब्लम ये लेनी है कि बिल्कुल एलेबोरेट कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं आनी चाहिए. हम इसके ऊपर डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं. एवरीबॉडी इज गिविंग कि कैसे नहीं आएगी, कैसे इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं आनी चाहिए. यू आर टॉकिंग ऑन दोस इश्यूज, यू आर पिन पॉइंटिंग. दिस इज अ फन गेम बेसिकली टू मेक योर माइंड फ्री फ्रॉम द स्ट्रेसेस. बिल्कुल आपको चैनलाइजेशन ना करने के लिए ये उल्टी बात कर रहे हैं. उल्टी का फिर बाद में सोल्यूशन निकाल रिवर्स कर देंगे. दिस इज एंटी सोल्यूशन. ये भी यूज टेक्निक करते हैं. इसका बेसिक ऑब्जेक्टिव एक है टू मेक योर माइंड फ्री. क्योंकि व्हेन यू आर वर्किंग ऑन सम कैटेगरी और सम आइडिया और अप्रोच और प्रॉब्लम, योर माइंड स्टार्ट्स फोकसिंग दैट योरसेल्फ इन वन डायरेक्शन एंड इट डजंट वांट दैट इट शुड बी इन वन डायरेक्शन. लेट इट गो इन डाइवर्स डायरेक्शन एंड एंजॉय करते हैं आप बात को. आपने कोई अच्छे वो आइडिया क्वालिटी एजुकेशन के लिए तो कर रहे हैं, अब कहते हैं बैड क्वालिटी एजुकेशन होनी चाहिए. उसके लिए क्या होना चाहिए? बैड क्वालिटी जब एजुकेशन करेंगे तो यू विल बी अगेन गोइंग फॉर द सेम. आप कहेंगे यार बैड क्वालिटी मींस बैड इनटेक ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, बैड क्वालिटी ऑफ टीचर्स, सारा बैड में जा रहे हैं. बैड का जब उल्टा करेंगे तो इट विल बी रिजल्टिंग इन द गुड फॉर्म. आप इसमें एक डायरेक्शन में नहीं जा रहे, फोकस में नहीं जा रहे, उल्टा चल रहे हैं. This is equally applicable, but ये तब करते हैं generally when we are feeling bogged down with the ideas. फिर कहते हैं नई approach है. This is a situation like this. As I said, fun approach to idea generation, good at breaking tension. जब ideas when you are stressing on the point tension, मतलब you are working on the cause, you are focused and tension बढ़ना. Tension doesn't mean कि stress हो जाना. Tension means you are totally focused in one direction. Process is based from ways to make the situation worse. Otherwise, what we do, worst situation, we are trying to find the solution of the worst so that we should have a good situation. In this stage, we are working on the worst situation. Okay, इससे worst कैसे situation हो सकता? Once list completely evaluate each idea similar way, but rest consider ways to make it better. And finally, re-elaborate 12 better thesis and the anti-solution objective, 12 weaker thesis. What happens? एक आप याद रखिएगा, chain breaks from the weakest point. When you are going in for anti-solution, you are always trying to find the weakest link of the problem. If you are able to identify the weakest link, then you are always able to identify the solution of that weakest link. Then there is no failure. Failure कहाँ पे होती है आपकी? हमेशा वहां से होती है जो आपका weakest link है. Chain यहाँ से टूटेगी ना जहाँ से weak है. अगर हमने weakest link ढूंढ लिया, so you are always able to find the right solution. इसमें ये फायदा है. This is the difference from the traditional brainstorming to anti-solution. And more is this is not causing any stress on individual. Brainwriting, I think she has talked about the brainwriting something yesterday also. But let me tell you, this is again an approach of brainstorming only. But approach of implementation is different. How it is different? It is team concept to generate many ideas in short time. How it is different, I am saying, combines many aspects of tradition. No open discussion of ideas. Ideas are only written. इसमें क्या करना है? You are writing the ideas. Everybody is writing the idea. ठीक है? उससे क्या फायदा होगा? आपके जो कई बार आपस में ग्रुप में बैठे भी कुछ टेंजेंट्स होते हैं, कुछ आपस में फ्रिक्शंस होती हैं. दिमाग में होता है कि इसकी जो बात है करें ना करें, बट इट इज ऑलवेज इन योर माइंड. यू आर नॉट लिसनिंग टू द फेलो इंट्रूसिव. आपके उसकी शक्ल देखते ही लगता है ये तो क्या आइडिया देगा. दिस ऑलवेज हैपेंस. ठीक है ना? दिस हैपेंस. दिस इज टू रिड्यूस टोन एंड समटाइम्स सोशलाइज. एक बेचारा ग्रास रूट लेवल वर्कर बैठा है, एक टॉप मैनेजर बैठा है, ग्रास रूट वाला वर्कर बैठा, बेचारा अपना विचार देता ही नहीं डरते. एंड सोशलाइजिंग एंड knowing his level in the institution, these are the issues which is bothering but hindering the mind of an individual. That's the reason he is not able to give the idea whatever is coming to the individual 100%. He's not able to give 100% performance. because of socializing, because of his level, because of his stature in the organization, or any other thing. In this, you are doing what? You are asking everybody to write. Whatever idea is coming to the mind, you just write it. इसमें एक और फायदा होता है, सम मेंबर्स आर वोकल, वो हमेशा डोमिनेट करेंगे, वो बार बार बोलते रहेंगे, बेचारे कुछ है जो बोलते ही नहीं। आपने भी देखा होगा क्लास में या ग्रुप में बैठे हुए कुछ बच्चे तो आपके हर बार हाथ खड़ा करेंगे क्वेश्चन पूछने पे, एंड देयर आर सम हु विल नेवर से एनीथिंग ऑल्दो दे मे बी नोइंग इट। उनको आप पूछेंगे यार बता, तू तो बता, कभी बताता नहीं। यू आर फोकसिंग in this case when you are giving everybody to write, nobody is bothered about what other is writing, and nobody is thinking of stature, socializing, whatever it is. The agents are not into this again. So this is another or a better way of conducting brainstorm. Okay, in this you are writing the idea, whatever is coming to your mind, and you are implementing it. Conflict controversy management techniques. This is not, you are not causing any conflict because nobody is saying anything to anybody. Nobody is listening to whatever. The person is writing the idea. Maybe 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. You can write any number of times and give it to the coordinator. He is then listing it down, not naming the individual, then start evaluating at a later date. इसमें कुछ और भी है। अब इसमें addition क्या है? You just observe this in brain writing. You have given some topic for discussion. Let me also give you some topic, but XYZ I gave you a topic. Now each team member is given a piece of paper. I am giving you a piece of paper. Everybody is given a piece of paper. Everybody is writing one idea on that piece of paper. Now this idea, whatever he has written, these are placed at the center of the table. All the ideas have been given by everybody, and these are placed at the center of the table. Now everybody else is coming from his seat or her seat, taking the sheet, taking it to his place. After seeing the idea, writing something positive or negative about that idea. Writing something positive or negative about the idea, and then again placing. Everybody is taking every sheet and writing his or her viewpoint on every other issue, except the individual ones. जो तो उसने खुद ही लिखा है. So by this method, you are doing what? इससे क्या फायदा होगा? आप बताइए. What will be the gain out of this? हाँ, feasibility भी आप देख पा रहे हैं. You are moving in certain direction. बिल्कुल ठीक है. Although you are not knowing the level of the person, and everybody is giving the idea. Based on feasibility भी आप देख रहे हैं, logically evaluate भी कर रहे हैं, सारा कुछ साथ साथ चल रहा है. This way you are trying to first generate the idea, then finding the solution of that also. We are doing two things simultaneously with brain writing. This is the way. This is again a modification of brainstorming, but method approach is added or modified brainstorming. Okay, this is the benefit of make comment suggestions on the queries or questions or ideas given by somebody else. Pass sheets around the table until all have seen it. Evaluate ideas using some type of ranking scheme. वो बात की बात है. All the ideas have come. Then I am giving you a sheet. Every sheet is being given to you. Let's say I have 20 ideas. You are to rank every idea, whatever is there. You may say 1, 2, 3, 10, whatever it is. And after that, you are getting the solution of that also. Means ideas in terms of rank. जो बाद में करना था, वो साथ साथ हो गया. This is the benefit of brain writing. Okay? Brain writing means writing whatever is coming into your mind. This is another technique of brainstorming. Now, most of the techniques which are generally used, I have covered. Now, after idea generation, second step of idea generation is to evaluate it, synthesize it, so that you can get the right solution of the problem. Idea synthesis techniques I am going to talk with you. First important technique is Scamper, 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 and second is idea box. These are two techniques I am going to talk with you. Scamper and idea box. These are sophisticated techniques of idea generation. Okay? In this, Scamper means what? Scamper is a checklist of idea spurring questions. Idea spurring questions means what? S means substitute. Substitute means what? Let's say this is a mic. This is a speaker. I say I speaker का purpose क्या है कि आवाज आए हमको. I want that this should be substituted by something else in terms of material, in terms of texture, in terms of audibility or something that you are substituting this thing with something else. Purpose remains the same. You must be able to hear it. That is the purpose. But you are substituting it with something different. Maybe different design, maybe different shape. You are substituting this with different things. That is the basic agenda. Substitute. S means substitute. C means combine. Combine means SMS and mobile. दो purpose combine. Video and mobile. Picture and mobile. Camera and mobile. SMS and mobile. Internet and mobile. This is combination. Adapt. I'm talking of adapt, not adopt. Adapt means minor modification as per your requirement. Again, this is creativity. Idea तो नया ही है ना. अब adapt का एक आपको बताता हूँ मैं. In Punjab, there is some village, I don't remember the name of this village near Ludhiana. You know, they became very popular due to one reason. आप ओल्ड वॉशिंग मशीन्स आपके सबके घर में होती थी, वो जिसमें ऐसे करे बॉल लगा होता था, जिसमें आप you or your parents have used it. In this village, the basic business was dairy farming. What they used, these machines were lying idle. उनका कोई पर्पस नहीं था, पड़ी थी या तो उन्हें कपड़े गंदे डालने के लिए यूज कर लो, डस्टबिन की तरह कर लो. But what they did, they used those machines for churning of milk. This is adapting to your situation. वो चीज जो आपने डस्टबिन की तरह यूज करनी थी, उन्हें चर्निंग ऑफ मिल्क के लिए यूज किया, अडेप्ट किया. दैट्स अगेन एन इनोवेशन. है ना ये बात. वो चीज आपके लिए तो डस्टबिन है, उसकी कोई वैल्यू नहीं. आपकी ऑटोमेटिक, फुली ऑटोमेटिक मशीन आ गई. वो जो डब्बे वाली थी, बड़े वाली, जिसमें आप डाल के चर्निंग होती थी, वो उसको हमने मिल्क की चर्निंग के लिए किया. उससे मिल्क, दही बनाया, जो भी बनाया, मक्खन बनाया. दे यूजिंग इट, दे स्टार्टेड यूजिंग इट. एक ने किया, देखा देखा सबने किया. So this is adapting to the new situation as per the requirements. ये कोई वो नहीं थी इनोवेशन को नया प्रोडक्ट निकाला, पर सेम चीज को जो वेस्ट थी उसको नई पर्पस के लिए डाल दिया. Adapting another, ये रॉक गार्डन जो हमारा है चंडीगढ़ में, you must have seen. This is again adapting. और क्या है adapting? अलग अलग पिक्चर्स बना दी and he became one of the greatest creators ही में से नेक चंद. इतनी ज्यादा क्रिएटिविटी किसमें हो गई, जो सारी जो आपके जंक को उठा के उस आदमी ने, in spite of all the hurdles in his life, he could make a very beautiful rock garden, which is world famous now. This is adapting. Adapting भी है, combining भी है, बड़ा कुछ है ये. Then modifying or magnifying. Sometimes you are modifying it, sometimes you are magnifying it. Modifying in terms of shape, size. Magnify तो बड़ा करना ही होता है, ठीक है ना. Then put to other uses. वो तो आपको example is known to you. Put to another user, whatever you may use it. ये एक वाटर बॉटल है. Put you can, ये पहले तो पानी पीने के लिए यूज हो रही है. इसके बाद आप इसको you can use it for many other purposes. वो इसके ऊपर कुछ पेंटिंग बना देगा, बना के डेकोरेशन पे यूज कर लेगा, ठीक है ना. कोई इसको नीचे से इसे ड्राइंग, सर्कल ड्रॉ करने के लिए यूज कर लेगा. You can put it to any other use, whatever you may feel like. कोई इसको खोल के, ज्यादा तो नहीं आएगी, इस तरह काट के इसमें पेन स्टैंड बना देगा, वो भी बन सकता है. अदरवाइज तो ये डस्टबिन में ही जानी है ना. You can put it to another use if you want, and it should not be used for drinking again and again. It's always harmful. So you have to put it for some other use, and that purpose you can think of. It's up to you. Nobody is stopping you from doing anything else. ये भी तो क्रिएटिविटी है. क्रिएटिविटी डजंट मीन कि हर बार हमने नया प्रोडक्ट ही लॉन्च करना है. क्रिएटिविटी इन यूज ऑफ एनीथिंग, यू आर यूजिंग इट. देन एलिमिनेट और minify, and then reverse or rearrange. These are some of the, every alphabet has some meaning. You have to question yourself based on every alphabet. Let's say I'm thinking of this, how I can substitute this with something else. You are thinking on that direction first. And let's say every group member is thinking. You are sitting, you have the product, you have the availability of one product. उसके बाद you are thinking of substitute. Everybody is talking, this can be substituted like this, which you were doing yesterday. This can be done by this can be done by this. Everybody is giving the idea. S, substitute, then combine. Then some of the ideas, then you can combine and use it. Then adapt, adopt, modify, magnify. This way, we are having pinpointed question to everybody and giving one direction by asking questions in terms of substitute, combine, magnify, modify, put to other use, eliminate, or reverse or linear. You are questioning on every aspect, and based on every, then when you are talking of substitute, you are working in one direction. Number of ideas will come in terms of substitute. Then combine. Number of ideas will come in terms of combining the things. Number of times ideas will come in terms of adapt. After having all those questions answered, now you, after having hundreds of ideas आ गए ना अब आपको, पहले तो नहीं आ रहे थे. एक आदमी के दिमाग में एक आध आइडिया आएगा, 10 आइडिया, 5 आएंगे, पर by questioning yourself and all these issues on all these alphabets, you are getting hundreds of ideas. And then after combining or modifying those ideas, you are getting the solution. So this is a synthesis, idea generation and synthesis exercise. This is very important, and this is very frequently used in industry and world of work. Scamper. Okay? Very frequently used. Scamper is isolate the challenge or topic you want to think about. Ask Scamper questions about each step of the challenge or topic and see what new ideas emerge. Asking the questions is like tapping all over the opportunity with a hammer to see where the hollow spots are. कहाँ पे कमियां हैं? Hollow spots में where are the lacunas? Where are the things which can be modified? You are trying to search those activities or opportunities by asking yourself different type of questions, and step by step you are moving. First step, order may be different. You start with combine, doesn't matter. You have to combine many things, or you will start with a substitute. But this is a way given to you, 7, 8 alphabets based on which you are able to generate ideas and then. Okay. Then idea box, another idea synthesizing activity. This is integrated variation of channels, modified brainstorming technique. इसमें क्या करना है? A way to automatically combine the parameters of an opportunity into creative idea. कई बार पैरामीटर्स आपने, जैसे हमने कहा, उसमें पैरामीटर्स निकालिए. देखिए, कार्ड्स आपके पास हैं, ताश के कार्ड्स होते हैं, उनमें पैरामीटर्स क्या होते हैं? पैरामीटर्स कलर्स, शेप्स, हार्ट्स, स्पेड्स, क्यूब्स, डायमंड्स, ये 4 पैरामीटर हो गए. उसकी पॉसिबिलिटी नीचे कार्ड्स की क्या है? ये वेरिएशंस हो सकती हैं. These are the variations. Now you have parameters and the variations. After combining these parameters and variations, you come out with the new thing. I will show you the other one. ये देखिए. This is a laundry hamper. You are designing a laundry hamper. What are the possibilities? कोई भी प्रोडक्ट हो सकता है, कोई भी चीज हो सकती है. I am giving one example. लॉन्ड्री हैम्पर में पहले मैंने किया, उसके पॉसिबिलिटीज क्या है? मटेरियल क्या होगा, शेप क्या होगी, फिनिश क्या होगी, पोजीशन कहाँ पे रखेंगे. These are the possibilities or something more than that. First I am talking of material. Material can be wicker, प्लास्टिक हो सकता है. क्या हो गया? विकर प्लास्टिक हो सकता है. विकर पता है वो जो आपकी फूस से बनता है, वो विकर से, विकर नहीं, विक्स, जो आपकी गांव में या झोंपड़ियों में वो विक्स की विकर्स होती है ना, जो काने जी कह लीजिए, विकर काने. विकर, प्लास्टिक, पेपर, मेटल, net material or any other material, you can add to this list whatever you may add to it. Now shapes कौन सी हो सकती है? पॉसिबली क्या है? स्क्वायर हो सकती है, सिलेंड्रिकल हो सकती है, रेक्टेंगुलर, हेक्सागन, क्यूब और एनी अदर शेप यू मे ऐड टू इट. 5-7 ही होंगी ना, इससे ज्यादा शेप्स तो होती नहीं है. फिनिश कैसी हो सकती है? नेचुरल फिनिश, जो जिस तरह का प्रोडक्ट है, पेंटेड, उसको पेंट कर दिया. क्लियर फिनिश, बिल्कुल साफ, ल्यूमिनस, चमकीला. देन नियॉन फिनिश हो सकती है, और भी आप लिस्ट में ऐड कर सकते हैं. देन पोजीशन कहाँ पे रखेंगे लॉन्ड्री हैम्पर को? कोई कहेगा बाथरूम में रखेंगे, कोई कहेगा वॉल पे भी लटका सकते हैं, कोई कहेगा वहां पे दरवाजे में, कोई किचन, वो व्हाटएवर द प्लेसेस में भी यू आर आइडेंटिफाइंग. डोर की बैक साइड पे हो सकता है. अकॉर्डिंग टू साइज इट मे वेरी, एंड देन यू कैन आल्सो ऐड साइज इनटू इट. You have made the parameters. Now options are with you. Now you are trying to do what? Net material को cylindrical shape दे के painted करके door के पास रख दिया. This can be one way of doing it. Other one can be wicker material, rectangular shape, luminous and it can be on the ceiling or sits on the floor, anywhere. You are trying to make a combination of the things. With this आप वो कहते हैं ना मैट्रिक्स बन गया. मैट्रिक्स में कितने कॉम्बिनेशन बन गए? ये मैट्रिक्स कितने का बना? 5/4 का मैट्रिक्स. उसके कॉम्बिनेशन मैथमेटिक्स में जाएंगे तो कितने सारे बन जाएंगे. So these are the possible ways of synthesizing the ideas. इसमें करना क्या था? Specify your opportunity. Select the parameters of your opportunity. Parameters मैंने identify किए, जैसे उसमें shapes, size, shape, color, then shine, finish, or placement. All these parameters I have identified. List variations. What are the possible variations in that? And finally, try different combinations. This is called idea box. This is another idea synthesizing technique. ठीक है? Clear? कोई आपको डाउट हो तो
No doubt, sir.
yes,
No doubt.
no doubt.
Yeah.
मैंने अभी I have not gone ahead. This is another. You are improve your writing process. अपना writing process. This is an exercise for you also if you want to do it. उसमें कैसे अपनी writing process में आपका लिखने का तरीका लिख रहे हैं जो भी, how to improve upon that. इसमें कैसे improve करें? You identify parameter. Information. मैं कहाँ से information लूँगा? Sources of information. Medium क्या हो सकता है information का? Communication मैं करूँगा तो कैसे करूँगा? किस तरह की communication होगी? It can be from अपने net पे लिखूँगा, copy पे लिखूँगा, then any other way. Then style क्या होगा मेरा? This can be another way of idea. Then making a combination of it. Making a combination of it, you can better that. Different combinations will be available to you. This is an example of that. ठीक है? And lastly, idea just putting it together, identify issues of substance, determine opportunities for creativity, structured collaboration. What are the possible things you can do? Pick a brainstorming approach, whatever approach you may like it. यानी आपको कहीं brain writing दी, anti-solution दिया, then channelization, brainstorming in general, then scamper, then idea box. Whatever approach you may like, you can put into apply, evaluate. Now this is your try. This is for you to decide not what to do. And finally, guidelines for developing ideas. If you want to develop ideas or generate ideas, these are some of the guidelines which one must use. Be a good listener. It's very important. Nobody is having everything into the mind. When you talk with many people, listen their ideas, new ideas come into your mind. Be a good listener. This is very important. Let your mind play with the ideas. आने दो, जिस तरह का आइडिया आता है उसके साथ खेल प्ले क्या करना है, मीन्स उन्हें एंजॉय करना, उन्हें इवेल्युएट नहीं करना. प्ले टिल आप जब इवेल्युएट करते हैं, यू आर नॉट प्लेइंग विद आइडिया, यू आर जजिंग द आइडिया. डोंट बी क्रिटिकल ड्यूरिंग आइडिएशन. आइडिएशन स्टेज क्या होती है? व्हेन यू आर थिंकिंग ऑफ इट, उसकी पॉसिबिलिटी आगे चलते जा रहे हैं. आइडिएशन पीरियड इज अ मस्ट फॉर हिम. ठीक है? एक इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड होता है कि आइडिएशन पीरियड. आइडिएशन पीरियड मीन्स यू आर ट्राइंग टू जनरेट एज मेनी आइडियाज एज यू कैन. इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड इज you are thinking of that idea and उसको cooling period आप देते हैं, that is incubation period. Incubate करते हैं ना, जैसे आप उसमें labs में incubate करते हैं, उसी तरह incubation period is that period which is giving you time to think in that direction, specific focused direction. Piggyback of others. जो इन्होंने idea था उसके बारे में addition subtraction you can think and put something new. Be fluent. This is very important. Idea को अपने दिमाग में रखिए, लाने दीजिए, बोल दीजिए जो आता है, बता दीजिए. ये अपने दिल में ना रखिएगा कि मैंने ये जो मेरे दिमाग में आया था बताया नहीं, क्योंकि बाद में वो भूल जाएंगे आप. लेट आइडिया कम एंड लेट इट बी गिवन टू समबडी एल्स. उसका कोई और यूज कर ले. लेट इट बी ओपन माइंडेड. डे ड्रीम, इट्स ए मस्ट. जो डे ड्रीम करते हैं वही कुछ करते हैं. हम जो डे ड्रीम, हम कहते हैं डे ड्रीमिंग नहीं करनी चाहिए. क्रिएटिविटी बिल्कुल उल्टी चीज है. आप देखिएगा, हम कहते हैं डे ड्रीमिंग कीजिए, ख्याली पुलाव बनाइए. जो ख्याली पुलाव बनाएंगे इसका मतलब उनका दिमाग चल रहा है. जो ख्याली पुलाव नहीं बनाएंगे इसका मतलब दिमाग ही नहीं चल रहा. अपना तो कुछ किया ही नहीं ना. ख्याली पुलाव मींस यू आर ट्राइंग टू डू समथिंग डिफरेंट, थिंक समथिंग डिफरेंट. लेट इट बी. नो व्हेन टू रिलैक्स. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. रिलैक्सेशन इज इक्वल इंपॉर्टेंट. एग्जॉस्ट नहीं कर लेना माइंड को. रिलैक्स कीजिए. कीप ए नोटबुक ऑफ आइडियाज. जो भी आता है उसको लिखते जाएंगे, क्योंकि वो भूल जाएंगे. अगर आपको पता है आपके दिमाग में आप ड्रीम्स आते हैं ना रात को, कितने के ड्रीम्स आते हैं आपको? How many dreams do you have generally? Range, can you tell? How many dreams do you have generally in the night? Anybody who would like to comment? 2 to 3. Maximum you can think. Let me know the maximum what you can think. Recall you may be 1 or 2, but in the total number of dreams, let me tell you, research says you generally have 2,000 dreams in a night. That's the reason I was saying give the maximum number. You may say have said 10, 20, 50, 2,000 dreams in a night. और याद कितने रहते हैं वो मैटर करता है. सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में, सबकॉन्शियस माइंड तो आपका हमेशा वर्क कर रहा है ना, डेड ब्रेन तो नहीं है ना, इट्स ऑलवेज वर्किंग, थिंकिंग ऑफ समथिंग. कुछ याद रहता है, कुछ नहीं आता. याद वो रह रहा है जो कॉन्शियस है, माइंड जब कॉन्शियस. सबकॉन्शियस में भी तो बहुत कुछ चल रहा है. सबकॉन्शियस में जो हैपनिंग्स है उससे लिंक किया है, आपकी जो हो रहा होता है आसपास, या समटाइम दीज आर लिंक्स विद समथिंग एल्स. वो जो होते हैं ना रियल आइडियाज होते हैं, डिफरेंट लिंक्स वो बना रहा है. माइंड इज मेकिंग डिफरेंट ब्रिजेस बिटवीन डिफरेंट थिंग्स. जैसे आइडिया बॉक्स में वी आर ट्राइंग टू मेक अ ब्रिज बिटवीन डिफरेंट थिंग्स. माइंड इज आल्सो मेकिंग ब्रिजेस बिटवीन डिफरेंट थिंग्स. इस तरह की चीजें आ रही होती हैं व्हिच यू कैन व्हेन यू आर सिटिंग अदरवाइज अवेक. वो कहते हैं क्या अबसर्ड सी चीजें आती हैं दिमाग में. दैट इज द थिंग. वो रियली असल में जो होते हैं ब्रिजेस, दैट इज द रियल फ्लो ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, रियल फ्लो ऑफ आइडियाज. ड्रीम्स आना बुरी चीज नहीं. दैट्स द रीजन आई सेड. एंड फाइनली मैनिपुलेट ओल्ड आइडियाज, उनसे फिडल कीजिए. टेक रिस्क, बी क्यूरियस. दिस इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. बी क्यूरियस. If you're not curious, you will not get anything. Learning is a must for. Curious तभी होंगे ना, हर चीज जानने की कोशिश करनी. आप जा रहे हैं, हो रहा है, you're not bothered, then you're not going to be creative at all. You have to be curious. जो हो रहा है ये क्यों हो रहा है? Let me find it out. If it is happening, if I am able to find why it is happening, let me improve upon it. Then that is the second step. ठीक है ना? If we are not curious and we cannot find anything at all new, definitely this is yes. We cannot find anything new if we are not curious at all. If we don't have the urge to ask why this is happening, we are not going to find anything new. It's a firm belief of myself and everybody. इसलिए why जरूर जानना चाहिए. हर चीज में why ढूंढने की आदत डालिए. Creativity will enhance. This is in all about my presentation on developing ideas.